The new Prime Minister has emerged. Now, it follows the crushing defeat suffered by the Conservative Party in Thursday's parliamentary polls. Earlier today, after leading his Labour Party to a landslide election victory, Sir Keir Starmer met with King Charles to inform him of his readiness to form a new government. It marks the end of 14 years of the Tory government, of which the last 4 or 5 were turbulent and scandal-filled. Our senior correspondent, Peter Okwoche, looks back at one of the most dramatic 24 hours in UK political history.
Driving down history lane, the UK's new Prime Minister on his way to Buckingham Palace to inform King Charles III of his readiness to form a new government. It's an extraordinary turnaround for Sir Keir. Nobody, literally nobody in the Labour Party thought this was possible in the immediate aftermath of its dire defeat in December 2019. His party's huge victory margin sees them with more than 400 seats in the Commons. And in his first speech as Prime Minister, Sir Keir said the country has voted decisively for change and a return to politics of public service.
But now our country has voted decisively for change, for national renewal and a return of politics to public service. When the gap between the sacrifices made by people and the service they receive from politicians grows this big, it leads to a weariness in the heart of a nation. Politics can be a force for good. We will show that. We've changed the Labour Party, returned it to service, and that is how we will govern. Country first, party second.
After 14 years, the Conservatives lost power in a catastrophic defeat, the worst result in their history. The writing was on the wall for the Tories over the last couple of years as they lurched from one scandal to another, leading to 3 leadership changes for the party and the country in 1 year. In his final speech as Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak took responsibility for his party's crushing defeat and also announced that he would resign as Conservative Party leader once the process to pick another one had begun.
To the country, I would like to say first and foremost, I am sorry. I have given this job my all, but you have sent a clear signal that the government of the United Kingdom must change, and yours is the only judgment that matters. I have heard your anger, your disappointment, and I take responsibility for this loss. To all the Conservative candidates and campaigners who worked tirelessly but without success, I'm sorry that we could not deliver what your efforts deserved. It pains me to think how many good colleagues who contributed so much to their communities and our country will now no longer sit in the House of Commons. I thank them for their hard work and their service. Following this result, I will step down as party leader, not immediately, but once the formal arrangements for selecting my successor are in place.
High-profile Conservative Party members who lost their seats include former Prime Minister Liz Truss, Defence Secretary Grant Shapps, Jacob Rees-Mogg and Penny Mordaunt. Voters were clearly furious with the Conservative Party, but as well as going to Labour and in some cases the Lib Dems, they were more than willing than ever before to consider parties outside the traditional mainstream. Greens, pro-Gaza independents and the Reform UK Party, whose leader and architect of Brexit, Nigel Farage, won a seat in Parliament for the first time after losing the last 7 elections in which he stood. That puts Labour on notice that the UK is in an unusually volatile period, that the voters may be willing to turf them out rapidly if they fail, and the evidence for that is there right now in Labour's victory.